As you may be able to tell, I am not Becky. Of course, you are here for the webinar Getting Started with IDX Broker. This is kind of just a beginner's webinar to get you to know some of the basic functionality of IDX Broker and really how to just get started and get you moving with the product, because at first it can be a little bit confusing. So we'll go over some basics, get you rolling, and then you can go on to maybe a more advanced webinar in the future, or you can always contact support and you may be a little more educated as to what you're actually looking for at that point. So today, we will be going over some basic account information. That's your contact information, your billing address, items like that. We will go over some of the basic search pages that are included with your account when you first sign up. These are pages that you can already add to your navigation of your website and already get your visitors some good search functionality and some good results for the properties that they are looking for. We will also go over some of the mobile responsive options that you have. We have a mobile responsive template that's a mobile first, but we also have, if you like some of our other templates, we have some other mobile options. We'll show you how to switch between those really to find the right fit for your specific website. And then we're going to go over creating a basic neighborhood page. We call them saved links. They can be used for neighborhood or community pages. They can also be used to set aside a search for a specific price range, or even really to narrow that down for a specific lead and what they might be looking for. And you can create saved searches and pages based on pretty much any criteria that you get from the MLS. So the first thing, when you sign into your account, you will get something that looks kind of like this. So here is your main navigation up top, your sub-navigation that changes depending on the main navigation that you push. And this is where you're always going to start out when you log into your account. So speaking of account, all of your account info is under the Account Navigation tab. This is where you're going to edit the contact information, your email, items like that. So your billing information is under billing. If your credit card is expired, you need to update that. Or we get a lot of times where a credit card is no longer valid. You can just go ahead and update that right there in the billing information, and it's fairly self-explanatory. If you do have questions about that, please call us up or email us and we'll be able to help you with that as well. But I'm going over to account info. So this is the basic information about your site. This is where if you have a CNAME or a subdomain, you're going to put that information to move all of the IDX Broker content around to be more accessible and a little better for SEO. Here, you'll notice on all of your contact pages or at the bottom of your details pages, you will have a display name that says Bob Jones Real Estate Company or Who's This Realty. That you can change here. You can also change the email, the primary email where your leads will be routed. You can also change your address and contact information right there. If you go to Designs and Pages, you'll find the basic pages that come pre-installed with your IDX Broker account. So you have search pages up top. You can add these right now to your navigation on your website so that users can search by basic search, advanced search, address. You have a map search here. Some of the more popular results pages that are pre-programmed in IDX Broker, like your featured results page. Featured means that these are listings for which you are the listing agent. So it's not items that you choose necessarily. Featured in our language just means that it's your listing. So you can certainly put on other properties that aren't yours and feature them on your home page or make a special page for those. But when we talk featured, these really are just your listings. Some of the ones down here are more dynamic pages. So the details page, you can certainly change some preferences here or change the layout. But this is a page that's going to show up and is going to be very specific to a property. So the information on this page is always going to change depending on what link you click. And then we have contact pages, user sign up and login are some pages that you could always put on. You can even put a button link somewhere on your site for a user to sign up as a lead. And there they can save searches, they can save specific properties so that they get email updates when those are changed. And then for office pages, for office accounts, we even have a roster page that shows all of your agents and their listings specific to them, and you can use that as well. So one thing with these search pages, the basic search pages you're probably going to want to start with are maybe basic search and advanced search. The main differences between these is a basic search will have what we call core fields. These are fields that are common to almost all MLS, and if you have more than one MLS on your account, it's a great way to start because you can search by bedrooms, bathrooms, price range, city, across a wide range of MLS, and it doesn't bog you down with additional fields that may not be relevant. The advanced search is handy because it gives you a wide variety of search fields. This is where you're going to find search fields specific to an MLS. So in the advanced search, you might find subdivision or area fields. You might find high school or foreclosure properties. Any field that the MLS provides to us will be available in this advanced search. We pre-populate some of these search fields that we think might be handy to you or that are some of our more popular options on an MLS by MLS basis, but you can also edit those search criteria to really focus on your specific visitors. So if you have a site that caters to condos or maybe has options for 55 and older communities, well, you can change these search criteria to really feature what they're going to look for. They might not care about elementary schools, but they might want to know if pets are allowed, or they might want to search by community name if there's a specific community they want. So you can edit the search fields for your advanced search by going, of course, to Designs in the main navigation, Pages in the sub-navigation. Then once you find this advanced search row, go to the far right and there's a Fields button. You can select this option and then you're going to change or select your property type. Now these are separated out because they have vastly different options. A vacant land isn't necessarily going to have a field for the number of bedrooms because there are none. So single family is going to be different from vacant land. Mobile home is going to have different options from a condo. Commercial is going to have way different options from a rental. So I'm just going to select single family, and I'm going to view my settings on that to change my fields, to change my search options for this. Now here you're presented with left side, right side, and additional fields. So the ones on the left side and the right side are what are already presented on your current IDX Broker advanced search page. There's two columns, obviously a left side and a right side. And currently on mine, now these may be totally foreign or totally different. In fact, I would assume they would be different on your pages because I'm using some demo data. But we have financial, laundry, the style of the house, how many fireplaces, my subdivision field, recreation, lot size, etc. But I can change these. So let's say I don't really care about fireplaces. I can go ahead and delete that one. And then I can add additional fields that are on this third column on the far right. So I can add breakfast. I don't know what that means. Perhaps this is how many breakfast rooms you have, and I don't live in this area, so maybe it makes sense to those people. But I'm also going to add community name because I know what community name means. So I'm going to add those, and I'm going to move them around because I think subdivision is more important. So I'm selecting this icon here. It gives me the little navigation symbol. And I can actually move this, and I can also move it to my other side. Once you have these all set up exactly as you want them, with whatever options you have over here, and then deleting any options you don't want over here, we're going to go back up to the top. There's a Save Prop Type Layout button. We're going to select that so we don't lose any of this. And then my single family property type is all set for my advanced fields. But I'm going to do one more thing to really narrow down and specialize my searches before I move on to my next thing. And that is my city, county, postal code lists. When you get your IDX Broker account and it's bright and shiny and new, you will have every city, every county, and every postal code that's available throughout your entire MLS. Now, some MLS are specific to a city or a region, but many of them are between different states. And if you don't want to travel for 3 hours to show a house, you might want to limit the amount of cities that you feature on your website. I can do that by going to Preferences in my main navigation, City, County, Postal Code Lists in my sub-navigation, and you can create a new one. You can have different ones for different parts of your site, but I'm just going to manage. You automatically come with pre-populated ones when your account is new. You can see that I have my 3 dynamic lists, one for city, one for county, and one for postal code. So I'm going to edit my city list, which is going to be this little pencil icon. When you edit most anything within IDX Broker, it's going to be this little pencil icon for edit a list. Now, you can see I've already touched this a little bit. So in a previous tutorial, I already removed Aventura, Big Torch, Coral Gables, etc. But I still have available Aloma, Bartow, Boynton Beach, Coconut Creek, etc. This is still a long list of property of areas, some of which are in Texas and Vermont and Tennessee. Well, I don't really want to travel all the way out to Wisconsin to show a home. So I'm going to go ahead and select all these cities that I don't want. Now they're not lost, they just go over here. So go ahead and edit them as you will, and don't fear that they will be gone. You can always come back and edit them again. I'm going to just select a bunch of these other cities. When I'm done, I can go ahead and do Remove Selected. So they're no longer in my primary list. I can see that they're down here as ones that I previously removed, which I can restore should I choose later. And I can go back to my list management. You can see here with this trash can icon that I've made some changes. So I can always go back to my original one, start from scratch if I choose to at any point. But I think that's pretty good for now. I'm going to go ahead and move on to using the options that I just did. I know I told you I was going over mobile responsiveness, and I will, but neighborhood pages really kind of just lends into the next step here. None of these are website specific. You can use all of these options on whatever website you have and whatever CMS you have. So if you have WordPress, we have a plugin that makes it really easy to tie in all of your IDX Broker pages. But as far as the pages that I showed you here and that we're going to make in the next step, these are just links that you can add as an external link to your website. So I can pull this up And you can see that I have my website, which is supportwp.idxbroker.com. And then my actual link is idx/search basic. And this link, if I open it up, can be added to any website navigation. And we'll go ahead and pull in my basic search page. And you can see that this is the limited city fields that I just edited. And if you go over to advanced search, you'll see some of the changes I made with my community name, and I moved my subdivision over here and we added breakfast. Now these, because I have a wrapper set up, does look like the rest of my site. So if I go to my home page, you'll see that my IDX Broker pages match my home page. So my home page looks like that, an IDX Broker page looks like that. There's this funny looking guy here, and it all matches because we have what we call a wrapper set up. And that should be set up when you first sign up for your account. If it's not, or if there are issues, please reach out to us. There is information at support.idxbroker.com on some common issues with wrappers and how to set up both static and dynamic wrappers. But we're happy to update your wrapper for you a couple times a year, or certainly walk you through some typical issues and try to fix that for you, so that when you do go to one of these IDX Broker pages, it doesn't throw your visitors for a loop, but it all matches the rest of your site. Now that I have my search page where I like it and pared down to just what my visitors might be searching for, I'm going ahead and I'm going to create a neighborhood page. Now, neighborhood pages are great. They're great for SEO because they give you unique content, but they're also nice so that your visitors don't have to just search willy-nilly throughout the entire MLS. It's a little more focused, specifically on a neighborhood or maybe a price range or a feature. Maybe you have an area. I've had some that are really looking for horse properties, and so they do a saved link that only pulls up horse properties so that visitors can just click on that and get all the properties they need. Each IDX Broker account is specific for one website. However, you may use widgets, and you can use those links certainly on other websites, but they're always going to point back to your primary site, and your wrapper will match that primary site. So if I had, say, a condo website and a single family website that were different URLs, I could certainly link back and forth between them. But as soon as you hit an IDX Broker page, it's going to go back to your primary site that the IDX Broker account is set up for. Widgets are great because you may have an agent that has their own website. Well, they could stick a widget on that second website just to give a little more content, to give a little more added value for their site. But as soon as you hit any of those details and want more information about a property in that widget, it's going to go back to the primary website, which is where all of the IDX Broker content will be. So to create a saved link or a neighborhood page or community page, however you name that, we're going to go to Preferences, Saved Links, and Create. Now you can pick any search page you'd like from here. I'm going to choose Advanced Search because it gives me the most options. You could certainly do basic search if you're just looking for everything in a city or everything within a price range for your whole MLS. But advanced search gives me those added fields that I just added, and I want to be able to use those. So advanced search and next step. It already loaded, it's just below the screen. Okay, so here we have our basic core fields, which are above this blue button. So like I said, we have city, we have prices, bedrooms, property type. I'm just gonna stay with single family for now. You can do sorting options or how many results on a page. But then here is really where we're going to drill down and get some additional information. So I am specifically looking for maybe something where nearby it's on a biking trail. That's pretty big in our area. And I want something, well, since I'm so interested in breakfast, I want something that has a breakfast bar. You can choose whatever options here, and you can go to the next step again, which is at the bottom of the screen. So I've set my criteria for my search. Now I'm just going to fill in what it looks like to the visitor. So I need to give it a page title. So this is going to be my breakfast page. You can fill out your meta tags and your keywords for SEO so that people will be able to find them on a Google search. So homes in Jersey. And then my keywords. And then down here is the subheader. This is great to put really that unique content that search engines really eat up. It's also nice to give your visitors something a little bit extra about this specific area. If you're doing a neighborhood thing, you can write about that neighborhood. A neighbor for families and is great shopping. Also like breakfast. And then you can add links to images here as well. At this point, we can't upload any of these images to IDX Broker. It would just bog down our system too much. But you can throw an image on your, you can FTP it to your website. You could even put it on a Dropbox and make it a public file. And then you can put that image right here. Okay, there we go. So I have this guy, and he also loves breakfast. And so I have an image here. I have a description. You can bold. You can use this WYSIWYG editor to tweak this and make it look exactly like you want. If you have some HTML code that is pre-built or you want to throw in here, you can also turn the WYSIWYG off, and you can just edit as HTML. I'm going to save this and manage my links. When I do that, you can see that I've already made a bunch of links. This is saved links and manage. Now these are all pages that I can add to my website as well. So you can see I have breakfast right here. I can pull this down, see some of my options. It currently uses just my regular wrapper. And I can preview my link to see what it's going to look like here. Apparently I'm a little too specific on this one. I don't have any results. But I can always go back and tweak those and find exactly what I'm looking for. You do see I have my subheader up here. I have this breakfast fan guy, and then I will have all my results down here. Now I can add this. Like here, I've already created a saved link for Boca Raton. But once you create a good link, you can always add it to your website. Here you can see I have my advanced search and my map search here, and my broken link here, and my contact page here. So those are the basics of how to make some of these saved links that are great for pet-friendly, for location-based, for amenities-based homes. And these will really help, like I said, with SEO and just with people finding exactly what they're looking for. What if they're looking for this on a mobile site, which is more and more popular these days? So if you're looking for a home and you're just out in the neighborhood, you might pull out your phone, you might open up a tablet, and you say, hey, what homes are around me? Well, you want to make sure that your website is mobile capable and that people won't be discouraged or turned off from your site when they visit an IDX Broker page that's not fitting on their screen, because they might just give up and go to somebody else, right? We have a couple different options to take care of this. The first option is probably going to be the default that you have set up for your account, which if you go to Preferences, Global Preferences, and Mobile Settings, you'll see mine are turned off. But when you start it, you might have Use Mobile Wrappers turned on. Now, Use Mobile Wrappers doesn't care what template you're using on each of the IDX Broker pages. It recognizes this is an IDX Broker page, it reorganizes all of your content, and it puts it in a vertical mode. So I will go to one of my pages now that I have my mobile wrappers turned on, and I will show you a little bit of what that's going to look like. So Go to my basic page. Looks normal because I'm on a desktop. I'm going to tell it I'm on a mobile device. And boom, looks totally different. So this is stretched out because it's on a desktop, but you can see on a mobile device that this might be a little easier to use. Because I can just click on my cities. I can click here and type in a price range. And items like this are already ready for mobile. But no matter what layout you have, if you have the mobile wrapper turned on, it will always look the same. It will always be this dark gray and this white. While it's easy to use, it doesn't necessarily look like the rest of your site or maintain the branding other than a logo that will appear up in this corner and your phone number. So let's say I put a lot of work into my website. I want it to look just the same on a mobile device, on a tablet, on a desktop. No matter what I'm looking at, I want it to look the same, or at least match. We can certainly do that. First of all, I'm going to go to my preferences, global preferences, and mobile. And I'm going to turn off mobile wrappers. So now, even if it's on a mobile device, it's not going to change the look of your site. Your IDX Broker pages are going to stay the same. But currently, my IDX Broker pages don't look well on a mobile site because they're not optimized for mobile. So in that case, I'm going to go, again, this is Designs, Pages. Here's all my pages and all the settings I can do with them. I'm going to edit the layout of my advanced search page. Now you can see my current template is the basic template. Now the basic template is good and simple and it works great on a desktop site, but it doesn't change on a mobile device. So it's a little bit too big, it looks funny, it's all scrunched up. We do have a template specifically built for mobile, and that's called the Mobile First Search. I'm going to activate this. Now, if I go to my advanced search, and you can edit that template on each of these pages, just go to Edit under Layout and select Mobile First. Now if I go to my advanced search, you'll see that it looks like this. And when I make it smaller, like on a mobile device, it does the appropriate actions. So you can see I can still use this, but it still matches my site. It still has my header up here. It still has the coloring that I put here. These are all the same. They just fit the screen. My menu's still here. It's just in a hamburger menu now to fit the size of my screen. So there, you can use either the mobile wrappers, which work on any template, or you can switch over to the mobile first wrappers, or the mobile first templates, and use those to maintain the styling and the branding on your site. Right, as Becky comments, IDX Broker content is only as mobile friendly as your content. So when we create a wrapper, we take your design and your website and we put the IDX Broker content into that. If your site isn't mobile friendly or isn't mobile ready, then the IDX Broker content on a mobile first wrapper won't be as well. Now, if you use the mobile wrappers, IDX Broker doesn't care. It just uses its mobile friendly template and it doesn't use your website. So if you're not mobile friendly on the rest of your website, well, I would suggest that you make it mobile friendly to rank higher with Google and to really benefit your visitors. But if you don't have time for that right now, you could certainly turn on those mobile wrappers and at least your searches would be mobile friendly. So we went over quite a bit of content today, but do we have any questions about that? Currently, the listings are updated at least every 24 hours for MLS feeds on IDX Broker. There are some MLS feeds that are updated more often than that, and we are updating our entire system to get multi or intraday updates for all MLSs as they allow. So we are working on that functionality, but they will be updated at least once a day. So this is a great question. Jack has asked, how do you remove the IDX logo from listings of featured results? This is definitely possible, so let's go over that. It's something that we've gone through in some of our other beginner webinars, and it's definitely something you're going to want to jump in here and get a hold of. So you can actually have your logo show up on your featured listings, which is handy for branding and just makes it look all pretty. So for that, we're going to go to Preferences in the main navigation, Global Preferences in the sub-navigation. And then here we have a tabbed navigation. We go all the way to the right for Other. And you can see right here, I don't have anything uploaded. Here you can actually upload your own logo. So upload a logo. It should be 100 by 50 to fit in that space because it's kind of small on a results page. But go ahead and create your own logo that fits these criteria. Upload it here, and then this logo, whatever shows up in this box, will show up on the results page for all of your logo listings. So that'll get rid of the IDX logo or the MLS logo on some MLSs will be placed in that part as well. And so you can just brand them with your own logo. If you're tired of this, if there's no images, you can also upload your own missing photo picture. And you can just upload that. That one's a little bigger. It's 400 by 300. So that if there's a property that has no images, you can go ahead and upload something that matches your branding a little better there. Well, if there's no other questions, we thank you for joining us again today. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and this will be uploaded shortly. If you have any questions, please reach out for our support staff, and we'll be happy to help you. Thanks, and have a great one.